Hi, thank you for purchasing the Starting Line Products lightweight silencer for the Polaris Matrix Boost. Today, we're going to teach you how to install it. First, remove the side panels and hood from the snowmobile. Next, remove the exhaust springs connecting the bypass tube to the pipe. Then, using a 10mm deep well socket and ratchet, loosen the V-band clamp attaching the bypass tube to the silencer. Pull the top of the bypass tube away from the pipe and lift up on it to remove it from the silencer. Remove two plastic push darts that connect the upper intake to the turbo inlet tube. Loosen the hose clamp that connects the turbo inlet tube to the turbo. Lift the turbo inlet tube off of the turbo and slide it out of the upper intake. Swing the turbo intake tube over to the PTO side of the sled. Remove the 4 exhaust springs that connect the pipe to the turbo. Loosen the V-band clamp that connects the turbo to the silencer. Remove the pipe hold-down springs located at the back of the bumper. Rotate the pipe forward in the chassis in order to disconnect it from the turbo. Remove the V-band clamp holding the turbo to the silencer. Once the V-band clamp has been loosened and released, lift up on the turbo to remove the V-band clamp. Remove the silencer hold-down spring located on the inboard side of the silencer below and behind the turbo. Clip the zip tie holding the extra probe wire to the silencer probe connector. Then, disconnect the silencer probe connector. Pull the silencer probe wire from the inside of the chassis and lay it on top of the silencer so it doesn't catch on anything during the silencer removal. While lifting the turbo up and back, lift up on the silencer to disengage the silencer mounting stud and let the top of the silencer tip towards the outside of the sled. Then, lift the silencer out. Apply heat tape to the shock tower, starting at the hard body line just below the hood clip and continue back to the area behind the exhaust outlet as shown. Make sure that the stock stainless steel mesh vibro insulator is in place on the silencer holding stud, and that the stock rubber isolator is in place on the bulkhead. Use ultra black silicone and seal the silencer outlet to the belly pan. Lift the turbo up and set the SLP silencer into place, making sure that it engages in the stock silencer stud and stainless mesh vibro insulator. Make sure that the lower silencer mount is resting properly on the stock rubber isolator. Using the stock V-band clamp, secure the turbo to the silencer. Torque to 53 inch-pounds. Install the spring clip into the bulkhead in the open threaded hole on the right side of the bulkhead with the supplied 8 by 1.25 by 20 mm bolt with a dab of blue thread lock. Once in place, rotate it to the 1 o'clock position. Using the stock black spring, connect the silencer to the spring clip. Spring the pipe to the turbo using 4 stock silver springs. Make sure that the stock graphfoil seal is in good condition and in the correct place. Plug the supplied EGT probe eliminator plug into the stock EGT probe connector in the wiring harness. Reinstall the turbo inlet tube to the turbo, making sure the upper intake engages into the lower intake. Reinstall the push darts holding the lower intake in place. Tighten the hose clamp to secure the turbo intake to the turbo. Spring the center of the pipe to the chassis using the black stock spring. Place 1 orange damper onto the SLP main silencer bracket bolt, making sure that it is fully seated against the bracket. Set the SLP bypass silencer into the silencer bell, making sure that the graphfoil gasket is in place and engaged onto the SLP main silencer bracket bolt. Place the second orange damper and fender washer on the bolt and tighten the supplied mechanical locking nut until it puts a small amount of friction on the fender washer. Set the SLP bypass tube in place, making sure that both of the graphfoil seals are in place. Screw the bypass tube up on the graphfoil seals, then tighten the mechanical locking nut 1 full turn more to preload the fender washer orange dampers. This orange damper to SLP bypass silencer connection is designed to float as the graphfoil seals wear into the bell. Spring the bottom of the SLP bypass silencer in place using the 2 supplied springs. While holding the bypass tube in place, spring from the SLP bypass silencer to the SLP bypass tube using the provided springs. And then, from the SLP bypass tube to the pipe, using the stock springs that are silver in color. Finally, reinstall the hood and side panels. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at 208-529-0244 or email us at slp@slp.cc and find us online 24/7 at startinglineproducts.com.